D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my weekend review where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, also down below, you can find the articles that I read to bring you this video, and you can read them for yourself or whatnot, or you can just watch this video where I'm going to break it down for you. I also like to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to the channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just keep getting shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, why don't we go ahead and get to some business. Alright, so for my first story this week, alright you guys, so it looks like Steven Yeun is out at Marvel. Now, he wasn't ever officially in at Marvel as Sentries in the Thunderbolts movie, but there was talks that he was going to be in. Now, Marvel came out and said that it was because of scheduling issues. And then Steven Yeun said it was because of scheduling issues, which I just go, I mean, that's fine, but at the same time, I just go, of course they're gonna say that because they want to save face. But I have other thoughts on this, and I just want to say that I just think that it's not true. I think that when it comes to this kind of stuff, I think that Steven Yeun didn't want to be a part of this movie anymore because if you remember, Adam Driver was supposed to be in Fantastic Four as Reed Richards. And then that whole thing changed. Ugh. And so, the thing was, I think it was because the script was terrible. And the rumor is that it's very Sue Storm centric. Like, Sue Storm is the main person in that movie. She's the main character. It's all about her. And the rumor was that by the end of it, that Reed Richards would be the villain. And I just go, not interested. Like, that stuff is really annoying, and I'm not interested in that. I think that it's really crazy. I think that what happened was, and now, you know, all those beef people, they just lost the main beef guy. But everybody else that was involved in beef, I guess, is still involved or whatever. Or that was in it. But here's the thing. Okay, so Sentry. He's playing Sentry. Now, Sentry in the comic book, I know a lot of people want to be like, he's Superman, but for Marvel. It's a little bit different than that. He has an alternate personality. Like, he has a split personality. So, his other personality is just a crazy person. And then his regular personality is just like a normal dude, but like, you know, and then they have superpowers. So, he's constantly flipping back and forth. And I think that would have been interesting to see. I think that Steven Yeun is a good actor, and I do like Steven Yeun. I have nothing against him. But I didn't like him being cast as Sentry. I didn't like it. I thought it was a bad choice. And I don't think that it's just, you know, I think the look has to do a lot with it. And I know people are going to be like, oh, you're racist and everything. But that has nothing to do with it. It's just, I'm sorry. There are plenty of and plus, Sentry's not even that great of a character. I'm sorry. Like, Sentry's all right, but he's not that great of a character. And I just wish that they would have thought about this beforehand. But I think that they just went out with all the beef people. If they're just like, let's get another beef guy in here. And me, I just go, I don't know, man. I'm not interested in that, but we'll see. And I do hope Steven Yeun does join the MCU. But I want to see him as a character that A, is like a lot better. And B, I mean, that's, you know, Asian. You know what I'm saying? Well, we'll see what they do here. But he's out as far as Sentry goes, and we'll see where that takes him. You know what I'm saying? All right, you guys. So that was my first story of the week. So for my second story of the week. All right, you guys. So if you remember a couple months back, South Park did an episode in which they talked about the complete destruction of Star Wars universe at the hands of Kathleen Kennedy. It was just awful at her job, and she's not even a Star Wars fan. Like, I was a Star Wars fan. I'm an original Star Wars fan. You know, I love the original series. I even have come to love the prequel series, which they've really grown on me in time, especially when you compare them to the trash that has been put out by Disney. Now, Disney's done some things that I like, you know, like Clone Wars. I love Clone Wars, and I mean, even though they really just did the last season. And then I love Rebels. Bad Batch is bad. It's not good, but you know, at least they did Bad Batch. So that Filoni stuff that's animated has been pretty good. You know, and that's stuff my kids can typically watch, you know, those series. So South Park was making fun of Kathleen Kennedy for effectively having turned Star Wars into a woke universe of nonsense. And, you know, they had Cartman, he was having a dream in which he replaces Kathleen Kennedy. And here, let me just show you the clip.
There a problem, people?
No problem at all, Mrs. Kennedy.
We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
Yes, Miss Kennedy, some of the execs are just expressing that maybe...
Well, that maybe we should go a different route than we did with Indiana Jones.
Fuck Indiana Jones, put a chick in it and make her name it gay!
That's good. That's good. I like that. So that's apparently Kathleen Kennedy's strategy with Star Wars, which Star Wars is one of the best IPs in, like, all of mankind. I mean, it's a tremendous piece of IP. It's got like tens of billions of dollars worth of intellectual property. And now they've decided to turn that whole universe over to a woman named Charmin Obinay Chinoy. Oh, her name is even annoying. So fucking pretentious. So who exactly is this person? Well, she's mostly famous for having made a couple of nonfiction documentaries that won Oscars about feminism and anti-feminism in Pakistan, which that's fine. What does that have to do with Star Wars? I mean, what makes you think that you can transition from making a terrific documentary about, say, you know, horror killings in Pakistan to now you're in charge of the Star Wars universe? Like, there's lightsabers and there's spaceships and stuff. I mean, how does that even happen? That's such a weird, like crossover to me. And so this director, she is one of the directors of Miss Marvel. She directed one episode in 2002, that series from Disney Plus, and it was trash. I did not like that series. You can go and check out my episodes. I covered it. It was not good. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Aman Vellani, so talented. I like her a lot. She's a good actress. I would like to see her in more stuff. But literally no one watched that show. Like, no one wanted to watch, you know, because no one cared. No one cared. And it's because it wasn't good. And they decided to put her, this Obinay Chinoy, in charge of the next Star Wars movie, which will be focused on Rey. And of course, we all know Rey. She was in the new Star Wars trilogy. She basically just killed off every single character that you love to replace them with characters that no one gives a shit about. Like, no one cares. No one has, like, bothered with Poe Dameron since, you know, ever. And no one cares about Finn. No one cares. No one cares. Which those two should have been, like, Finn should have been the main character of those movies. I mean, everybody thinks so. And then they got rid of all your favorites. I mean, they killed off Han stupidly and you know, nonsensically. They killed off Luke uselessly, and it was so stupid. And then they killed off Leia, which, I mean, they kind of had to, but it was so stupid, you know, and completely useless. You know, you're just like, what? What's going on? And then those were beloved characters that they just killed off. And you're just like, all right, whatever. For characters that nobody cares about. Especially for Rey, who's just, you know, awful and annoying. And so Kathleen Kennedy's trilogy has been so dramatic that there's been like a whole new revisionist history set up where The Last Jedi is just so amazing and so good. And everybody knows that The Last Jedi, it was fucking dog shit, yo. You know, from Rian Johnson, and everyone knows that. He's got, you know, applesauce for brains, because his shit sucks. It makes no sense. It's so convoluted. Everything he writes is convoluted. It's weird. So anyway, so Kathleen Kennedy, instead of shifting focus again, well, I mean, why don't you just hand the next movie over to someone like, you know, Jon Favreau, who is actually a fan and actually likes Star Wars, and I think that he was trying with The Mandalorian. But no, instead, Kathleen Kennedy has hired this person who also happens to be not just a documentary filmmaker about oppression of women in Pakistan. Also, she's the first artist to co-chair the World Economic Forum in 2017. Now, those seem absolutely perfect for a piece of space opera and adventurous fantasy, sci-fi entertainment, all that super fun stuff, right? Well, so they've asked her about the new movie that's starring Rey and apparently takes place like 15 years after the The Rise of Skywalker. And here's what she had to say.
The first woman and the first person of color to direct a Star Wars film. It's set to be released in 2026. You can say that the force is strong with this one. Here's Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy.
You know, I'm very thrilled about the project because I think what we are about to create is something very special. And we're in 2024 now. And I think it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape the story in a galaxy far, far away.
So they want to shape this story in a galaxy far, far away. And you had a woman shape this story in a galaxy far, far away. Her name was Kathleen Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? And she sucks. She is awful. She is a piece of shit at her job. And in any reasonable universe, she would have been fired. But she's unfireable because she's a woman. I mean, also, the minute she talks about historic IP, and the first thing they say is, well, it's 2024. You know, the next thing they say is just going to be like completely nonsensical. It's going to be like, women are not being paid the same, or people of color are not being put in films. And you're all like, yes, they are. What are you talking about? You're so stupid. It's like Rachel Zegler, you know, and she was all like, it's 2024. Weird. Because we don't need another woman being saved by a man. I mean, it's a feminist diet that we're just not into. We've just been fed this, feminist diet for so long that we're just so sick and tired of it. And so she also talks about how she's a activist all the time. She's an activist, and how activism is all a part of her filmmaking. And one thing she likes to do, she likes to make men uncomfortable.
What is the balance of activating a force for change, but also trying to permeate that patriarchy, that power structure? And is that a part of the calculation of your art as well? And what's been the reaction to that?
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable. Not you, just not you. Not you.
Point taken.
But it is important to be able to look into the eyes of a man and say, I am here, and recognize that. And recognize that I am working to bring something that makes you uncomfortable, and it should make you uncomfortable, because you need to change your attitude. And it's only when you're uncomfortable, when you're shifty, when you have to have difficult conversations, that you will perhaps look at yourself in the mirror and not like the reflection. And then say, maybe there is something wrong with the way I think, or maybe there is something wrong with the way I am addressing this issue.
First off, I am not uncomfortable. You don't make me uncomfortable, honey. I'll tell you that right now. Look at this stupid hat she's wearing in this picture. Ugh, I could dress her better than this. Okay, so first things first, the Force is not strong with this one because she's not even a Star Wars fan. I can tell you that right now. Second off, men, we don't need to be uncomfortable. I'm sorry, why would we need to be uncomfortable? And I can look in the mirror all day. I see a cutie patootie. So you can get the fuck out of here with that noise. And so she got Star Wars and Disney got a lot of backlash because I thought I remember Bob saying that they weren't going to get into politics and all that nonsense, the culture war. But it seems like they're diving head first into it. Well, over at Lucasfilms. So, of course, the shills, the little Disney nut huggers, like John Rocha, came out and he said this.
Reach down into your pants, find your fucking balls and your cock, and be okay with it. We can take a woman directing a film in Star Wars and live. We're all gonna fucking survive. I swear to God, you guys want to come off like you're tough motherfuckers, and you're a bunch of wusses. Finally, a woman gets to direct a theatrical feature in Star Wars with Rey, with other women leading the way. And there's nothing fucking wrong with that. I swear to God.
I do not believe that this man believes in God. But so John Rocha, Like, maybe, listen, John Rocha, beta right there, okay? And what a nut hugger, Jesus Christ. First off, men don't have a problem with women directing movies. And Star Wars fans don't have a problem with women directing Star Wars movies. Because when Kathleen Kennedy announced that Patty Jenkins would be directing a Star Wars movie when she was going to direct that Rogue One movie, nobody batted an eye. Like, nobody said anything because she had already directed a successful superhero movie with Wonder Woman, and she had directed other successful movies, and she didn't go around bashing fans. She didn't go around talking about activism, and she didn't go around talking about how, women it's finally right for a woman to step up and shape the Star Wars universe and everything. And now, if you fast forward to now, and all these so-called feminists just completely forget that. They completely forget that she was going to do it. Because the new director, this Chinoy chick, is getting criticized over extremely sexist statements towards men. And all these little fake geeky people and all these fake Star Wars fans, they're being exposed because they're just little shills. They're just little shills and nut huggers. And nothing is worse than a nut hugger. Okay, so I went on a little tangent there. Sorry about that. That was my second story of the week, you guys. I'll make this next one short. But for my third story this week, all right, you guys, I love this story. Okay, so this story came out at the end of this week, and I just loved it. It made me so happy watching it / reading it and everything. I'm going to read you the exact quotes because Christopher Nolan, okay, so he was at a thing with critics, okay? And he had talked about how he was working out on his Peloton, and the instructor started shitting all over his movie. And this blew up for a hot minute on the Twitters. Sorry, X, the Twitter. I'm calling it Twitter. It's not X, it's Twitter. And this is the picture that I have up there. That's the instructor. That's the exercise she was doing. And I just love this so much because they're talking about Tenet, and I'll give you my thoughts on that. But let me read what he had said. Okay, so this is the article, and let me pull down. I highlighted it so I can read it to you. Okay, so he said. I was on my Peloton and I'm dying, and the instructor started talking about one of my films and said, "Did anyone see this? That's a couple of hours of my life I'll never get back again." When Rex Reed takes a shit on your film, he doesn't ask you to work out. In today's world where opinions are everywhere, there is a sort of idea that film criticism is being democratized. But I, for one, think that critical appreciation of films shouldn't be an instinct, but it should be a profession. What we have here tonight is a group of professionals who attempt objectivity. Nolan continued addressing the professional film critics in the room. Obviously, writing about cinema obviously is a paradox, but the aspirations of objectivity is what makes criticism vital and timeless and useful to filmmakers and the filmmaking community. First off, I think Nolan is so fucking pretentious. It's fine. I think, first off, he's wrong. I don't need to be professional to critique your shitty movie. Tenet, this was Tenet right here, okay? This was Tenet.
Hey guys, go over here. Oh my gosh, this is important to the story. Can you understand what I'm saying?
I literally was just like, I don't know what he just said. I'm so confused right now. I went with my wife. I kept asking my wife. I was like, did you hear what they said? Because I'm confused. Like, to literally watch that movie, you needed to have fucking canine hearing. Okay, so I'm going to play this clip, and this is the clip of the woman, the instructor, and this is what she had to say about Christopher Nolan's movie Tenet. Here we go.
This song is from the soundtrack of a movie called Tenet. Anybody see this shit? Did anybody see this besides me? Because I need a manual. Someone's got to explain this. Yeah, I'm not kidding. What the fuck was going on in that movie? Do you understand? Seriously, you need to be a neuroscientist to understand. And that's 2.5 hours of my life that I want back. I want it back.
Yeah, and it's like, preach it, girl, because, like, I'll tell you right now, I want those hours back, too, because that movie was fucking dog shit. It was just like, and Nolan is, I'm sorry, like, he's a good director. I won't lie, he's a good director. He's very talented. But he's just got this, like, this hoity-toity, like, this pretentious way about him that I'm just like, I don't want anything to do with this shit. You are annoying. I saw him do an interview with that Perry Namiroff, and she asked him, like, what's his, like, feel-good movie? Like, what's a movie that's, like, he'll just put it on in the background and watch it, you know, or listen to it or whatnot. You know what movie I'm talking about. And he literally couldn't name a fucking movie because he's so fucking, like, high on his own supply. Like, he just thinks he's just God's gift to filmmaking. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, it's so obnoxious. But this Peloton instructor is correct. You don't need to be a neurosurgeon, by the way. You just need to have canine hearing. And, you know, I mean, you know, and Nolan's just, he doesn't like that somebody didn't like his movie. I mean, she was nicer about it than I was. I would have just been like, your movie was fucking shit. All right, you guys. So those are my 3 stories of the week, you guys. Tell me, what did you guys think about all of this? How do you feel about the fact that Steven Yeun is no longer going to be in Thunderbolts as Sentry? Is this something that makes you happy, bummed, because you like Steven Yeun a lot? Or are you happy about it because you think they should try to cast someone that looks more like Sentry from the comic books? That's what I think so. But, you know, whatever. And, you know, do you think that, who do you think they should cast in that spot? Because I'd be interested to hear that. So tell me what you guys think about this Chinoy chick saying, like, Star Wars needs a woman to shape it and everything. Because, I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Rey is gay and lame.
Put a ticket in and make her name it gay!
Like, I'm not going to see this movie. I'll tell you that right now. I won't see it. I won't see it in theaters. And it's going to be free when I see it because I'm not paying for it. And for me personally, Star Wars is just basically just something that's like not, you know, it's I don't know, man. It's not good. It's just not good. And then finally, tell me, what do you think about Christopher Nolan and this whole, the Peloton instructor? I love it. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's super fun that this shit happens and everything. But, you know, what are you going to do on this stuff? But, you know, some people are just really sensitive. I get it. You put your art out into the world and people can either accept it or they can just send it right back and everything. And I'm sending that shit back right now. I'm telling you what. Oppenheimer was okay. Oppenheimer was just really freaking long. I was just like, after the first hour, I was just like, oh my God, we can wrap this up. Because some stuff in there, I was just like, this does not need to be here. I am bored as shit. But it was a pretty decent, it was a good movie. And he's, like I said before, he's a good director. His films are well made. He's obviously competent in his job. It's just, I think that maybe he needs somebody to tell him no every now and then. Just be like, maybe you need to pull back a little bit, you know? All right, you guys. Well, that's all I got for you. Tell me, what do you guys think about all these stories? Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind if you're on my channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my Week in Review. You guys have a good week. Bye. Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my Week in Review.